This game is played between Magnus Carlsen, Amin Tabatabaei. Carlsen is playing white, Amin is playing black. The opening is Petrov Defense. E4. E4 is a book move, grabbing the center and starting the game with a perfect opening move. Amin played E5. E5 is also a book move. It is the common response that controls the center and opens up the queen and dark squared bishop. Knight F3. Knight F3 is also a book move. The first minor piece entering the game, and white is a good position to attack. Knight F6. Knight F6 is also a book move. It is Petrov Defense. Immediately attacks the white's unprotected pawn while ignoring black's own unprotected pawn. Knight into E6. D6. D6 is a book move. This attacks the white's knight and allows the light squared bishop to develop. Knight F3. Knight comes to its original place, which is a very safe and effective place. Knight into E4. Knight into E4 is also a book move. Black captures the pawn and places his knight in the center of the board, where it controls many important squares. D3. D3 is driving away the knight and allows dark squared bishop to develop. Knight F6. Knight F6 is also a book move. Only one good move is here, and black spotted it. This move, the knight is very safe and protects the king side. D4. D4 is a book move, meaning it follows the established opening theory played by top players for years. G6. G6 is a solid choice for black. Bishop B5. Bishop B5 check is the best move here. C6. C6 is best. It kicks the checking bishop away with a pawn. Bishop D3. Bishop D3 is a best move. This move puts the bishop on the much safer square. Bishop G7. He spinked out the bishop by placing it on the powerful long diagonal. Queen E2 check. Queen E7 blocks the check from the opposing queen. Queen into E7 check. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. King into E7. This is a first move, no other opinion on the board. Magnus Carlsen castled. Castling on the king side tends to be safer than castling on queen side. The king is further from the center. Rook D8. This activates the rook by developing it of its starting place, and the king can safely move into the king F8 and G8. H3. H3 creates a space for the king to move in case of it if it is attacked. King F8. King F8 is excellent. This is the solid choice. The king moves to the more safer square. Rook E1. Rook E1 takes the open file, common method for activating a rook. A5. A5 is one of the best choice. A4. A4 is a fair move. Knight A6. One more piece joins the action. C3. C3 controls B4 square, since the black knight can jump into the square. Knight C7. Knight C7 is best. This allows knight to control more squares. Knight A3. White develops further. Knight C4. Knight C4 is the best move. This mobilizes the knight and allows it to control more squares on the board. H6. H6 is a strong choice. It controls g5 square. Bishop d2. Bishop d2 is a good move because this connects the rooks which help them to work together. Also better is knight d2 as shown in the figure. Bishop e6. This is the worst move. The bishop has no scope there. Till then the game was more or less equally balanced, but now black's position is worst. Bishop into g6. Bishop into g6 is a great move. Only one good move here and Carlsen spotted it. This maintains the balance in material with a very good trade. F into g6, rook into e6. Now it's free bishop, so Carlsen grabs it. b5. b5 is right on target. A into b5, c into b5, knight into a5. Rook a6. Doubling the rooks is the real possibility for black now. Rook e1. Now the rooks can see each other, allowing them to provide a mutual defense. Rook da8. Knight b3. Knight moves out of the pin while also providing a critical defense to the rook. Rook a2. This places the rook on the 7th rank where it can be highly active. Rook into a2. Rook into a2. Rook b1. This defends the pawn that was under attack and has no defenders. Knight e4. This is the strongest option for black. King f1. King f1 is a fine move. Knight b6. Knight b6 is not the right idea. Better was b4. c1. Bishop moves to a safer square and it is the strong choice. g5. This creates a pawn chain. Linked pawns are linked pawns that form a strong structure. Rook a1. Rook into a1. This is an equal trade. Knight into a1. A straightforward recapture. King e7. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off the back rank. King e2. An active king is critical in the endgame and getting it off the black rank is the first step. King e6. This is very strong play because king moves towards the center. Knight e2. Knight e2 is the best place. This activates the knight from where it controls many squares. Bishop f6. Black bishop moved to a good square with greater activity and control. Knight a3. Knight a3 is a very good square. This is right on the target. b4. c into b4. Because that was a free pawn. Knight d5. This blocks the white's pawn. Knight c2. Securing the passed pawn makes it harder for black to exchange it. But still better was b5 as shown. h5. h5 is a solid choice for black. g4. g4 is a strong choice for white. h into g4. h into g4. This maintains the balance in material. Bishop d8. Bishop d8 is one of the best moves on the board. Another one is knight e7 as shown in the figure. Knight f e1. Knight f e1 is a very strong play. Knight c7. Knight c7 is a very good choice. f3. f3 is best. This kicks the knight. And after this, black resigns. Even though the powers are equal, the number of pawns speaks more loudly. So black resigns. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Please subscribe so that you can see many more beautiful games of these world champions. Thanks for watching once.